I grew up in South London with my family, who also grew up in Brixton. My mum was a night nurse. She had a market stall. My dad was a minicab driver. Got into BMX racing because when you're a youngster in those days, in the 80s and early 90s, you would always want a special bike. And those bikes those days, if you're from my era, would be like a chopper or a grifter or a second-hand bike before BMX all started coming over to England. And then to get a BMX when it came out was thousands of pounds. So we just ended up getting second-hand bikes and putting them together. We used to fix bikes and jump milk crates with bits of wood and do all sorts of things to make things fun in the local area. We started to go to all these little races locally around South London, East London, West London, and then I just took it up and got better and better. Hooked onto a few champions that were at the races that weren't from my area, learnt this craft and just continued racing around the country. It was the excitement, it was the adrenaline, as they say, you know, jumping the jumps and also mixing with different people. In those days, you just knew you go to school, you go home, which might be Kennington, Clapham or anywhere, and you go Brixton Market on a Saturday with your mum and you carry the shopping home. And then you go to the local youth club. With BMX, I was able to go to Birmingham, Manchester when I started racing nationally. And you start to learn, hold on a minute, all the toughness that's going on in London, it's not like that out of London. Everybody's just cool, they're happy for you. So it kind of changed my mindset. You saw how it was getting onto TV a little bit, but it didn't really make it to the Olympics when I was about, and that's hence when I became a DJ. When we first started Peckham BMX, we actually started in Brixton BMX, which was a track that was there for years, and I was part of that club. As a DJ on the radio, somebody called me up and said, oh, we heard you used to race BMX. And I said, we're starting this club, can you come down and help them? I went down to the club, got the training going. I met Kye, I met Trey, I met all the other riders, and then basically I put a program together. But while we were there, Southwark Council called a local bike shop to start their old BMX track that was also derelict. And they asked if I could come down and do a display. So I went down there with local kids from Peckham and Brixton. We created a bit of a fun day. The council said, oh, could you come back possibly every week? But I said to them, well, the track's derelict, we need to clean it up.
I'd heard about this fella, CK, so I came down one Saturday morning and I stood at a distance and watched the enthusiasm that he was bringing and the discipline that he was bringing from the youngsters. And his enthusiasm was quite infectious. What was a very muddy, quite a nasty part of this park with broken glass and old bricks and stuff, and we managed to find £10,000 to build a BMX track.
We built the track, relaunched the track, and then we started Peckham BMX. My goal for the club was always world domination, you know, always aiming for the highest level. So at least if they didn't get to the highest level, then they might be number one in England, number one in Europe. But I've always thought of it as a centre of excellence for young people that maybe would not have a chance to get to the centre of excellence without me putting in the structure and the infrastructure to get them there.
He's a man that makes things happen. I mean, he's got good patience as well. He won't let nothing go. If he's on something, he's pushing to the end. It doesn't matter how long it takes. But yeah, he'll get the job done.
I knew it would work because I had a lot more knowledge when I was training it rather than when I was riding. So I put that knowledge into the young people.
The biggest lesson CK taught me was to be on time, train hard, train smart, sleep right, eat right, and everything will fall in place. All the lessons that he's taught us over the years, I'm still using to this day. I'm on the Olympic team, I've been to Olympic twice. I've won a silver, but I'm due to win the gold. That's still to come, but yeah, like life lessons from just being a kid training at Peckham has made me become Olympian in Tokyo and Paris. These are the bikes that we give to young people when they come, because not everybody's got a bike. Over here we've got helmets, all sizes for young ones, because we have 3 groups. We have a novice, intermediate and expert group, and the bikes are the same. We've got small bikes, big bikes. They come in, parents can get a coffee, they get their bike and they get coached to be the best.
DK is like, he's very motivative and he's always like, energy, energy, energy.
Same again, same again.
I think the best thing about the coaches is that even if someone gets something wrong, they try to help them.
and like make them better at the thing that they're struggling at.
One of my favourite times was that when the Olympics was at Tokyo in the pandemic, and when Kye came on the screen, it was just electrifying, the noise that came from the kids.
There was a live screening once I crossed the finish line, and I never knew, but as you come up, like you finish a race, you come across the finish line, you turn around, I just saw all my family and the club, like little kids, I'm 5 years old, 7 years old, up at 5 AM watching a race in Tokyo, and that's just all from the club.
Really inspiring for the young people to see Kye and Quillen and others that have made the Olympic team, where they can see them on a weekly basis when they come down here, and they actually coach some of the young kids as well. They give them what for as well, you know, to tell them like, you're not doing good enough, you can do a bit better. But when they've got somebody that's actually made the Olympic team, made world finals, won a European championship, and also got a silver medal at the Olympics, it really inspires the young people. And that's kind of what I want. For young black children around the area, I have a lot of texts coming through to me on my Instagram, on my Facebook, where they're saying, you know, we're so proud that we can come past the track and know that somebody from South London has built this track. And it means a lot to them, because some kids even tell me I've inspired them to stay in college.
The impact Sika has had on my life is given a young black girl who was going through it at a young age, just giving her hope and a sense of encouragement that there is literally more out there than what is around us. We can literally strive for anything, and we can be the best at anything if we literally put our mind to it.
It's about inspiring the youth to be better than they are now. I'm really proud of all the young people's achievements. Some of them have gone on to university, some of them have gone just to do work, some of them have gone on to training. So there's all sorts of jobs, but the main thing is that the foundation of Peckham BMX gives them a good start in life. The hopes for Peckham BMX is obviously to get the club to a great height. We've got a skate park that we want to build. We want to build more facilities for the young people, so when they come, there's like an easier transaction. We've also got Safe House, which is accommodation for young people that are in care, leaving care, or foster care. The reason why I set up Safe House was because there was a need for my connections, which I know I've got a lot of, that can help young people get into places where they want to be by taking one step at a time.
Went to a social event, and he was asked to speak, and he was actually speaking to all the grown-ups in the arena, and he was saying what you all should do is find one child in your community and mentor them. And it made me think about what he's done, probably unintentionally, but exactly what's happened, mentoring youngsters into success.
Parents are doing a wonderful job, because obviously I can't do everything, and you have to build a team around that. And in some cases, I try to let go and just keep an eye on the logistic stuff that makes it be what Peckham is. Getting the MBE was, it was interesting. I always say this, I got the letter and it had a symbol on it, but I thought it was from the taxman. I was like, oh God, what have I paid now, or what do I have to pay? And then when I opened it, I realized it was the MBE. I then called my mum and said, Mum, I've got an MBE, proud moment for her. She was approaching late 80s at that age at that time. Yeah, it was like a real achievement. It made me feel that I was appreciated for what I've done. Got to go to Buckingham Palace with my brother and my niece, with my mum, and I don't think anything could top that. I got the medal. It was quite emotional, obviously, but I think it was more for young people. It's about inspiring the youth to be better than they are now.
CK still continues to impact the community in many different ways. He literally gives hope to a lot of people who don't have the best of family lives or anywhere to really turn to. People don't really feel comfortable going to youth clubs or going to other different sports. I feel like the CK still gives a safe environment at a BMX track where it's like a family.